At number 36, we have a song that could truly become our national anthem with hardly a murmur of dissent.
Beautiful tune. Really nice song.
Everybody knows that song more than the national anthem.
I do it quite a lot, mainly because I get asked to do it.
Of course, it's POKAREKARE. While it's uncertain who wrote the song, we do know that it's a love song that has been around for at least 90 years. It's been recorded by the likes of Hayley Westenra, Howard Morrison and Kiri Te Kanawa.
And tonight we add to that great body of work. This next artist just fell outside of our top 100 with her appearance on South Park. Here's an exclusive for Rock the Nation. Wing with POKAREKARE.
Kiri Te Kanawa, declared Rob Muldoon, was cultured, while rock music was not, and he placed a 40% sales tax on records, crippling the music industry. The Knobs retorted with a protest song.
We rang up the media and said, look, Rob Muldoon wants to meet with us. Then we rang Rob Muldoon's secretary and said the media wants to come and see you at this meeting. And the following week, of course, it jumped to number 5 in the charts.
The lyrics suggested the tax should be removed, but unsurprisingly, Muldoon saw it otherwise.
What's it all about?
Sales tax.
Sales tax. Sales tax.
It's the 40%. That's crippling on the old industry, actually.
Is it?
Yes.
If you're good enough, you'll overcome it, guarantee it.
Had you heard of the song?
This song?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I've heard of the word.
Culture.
My Sex also invited Mr. Muldoon to a concert to show him that culture did exist in pop music.
And they put him in the front row with his entourage, and Muldoon had earplugs in.
But the two bands' efforts came to nothing, and the sales tax was not lowered until the Labour government came to power in 1984.
He was a plonker anyway, old Rob Muldoon, eh? He wasn't a rock and roller.
John Rolls was the first New Zealander to chart in the UK. In 1968, he hit the number 3 spot with If I Only Had Time, and he followed that up the same year with Hush, Not a Word to Mary, which peaked at number 12 on the UK chart. For inspiration for his next single, he went closer to home, Kawarau and his family, most notably his little sister. After charting in the UK, John Rolls returned home, and in New Zealand he was worshipped. In 1969 he was invited to the Rio de Janeiro Song Festival, but he needed a song to perform at the concert.
Well, maybe I could steal POKAREKARE. No, I can't do that. What about Poaparo, Now Is the Hour? No, I can't do that. I'll get into trouble. So I just started strumming the guitar, jing, ding, dee, ding, and then I came up with my sister's name, Cheryl Moana Marie. Back home she's waiting for me. Cheryl Moana Marie. And I thought, there's some magic in that. There on the shore she waits so patiently.
I do believe it's a beautiful song. You know, some people might think it's corny today, but it's stood the test of time. I'm really proud that it was included in the Children's Book of Songs. You know, UNESCO's. Yeah, that's a beautiful compliment.
I believe Cheryl got teased a lot, got stones thrown at her and everything when she was a kid from, you know, that sort of thing, just the jealous kids of someone that's, you know, got a song written for them.
For a person like me, it was bad because there was a lot of attention. And you're talking about small town New Zealand.
In '72, Rolls signed a 5-year contract with an Hawaiian hotel. When it was over, he needed new material.
I've got to come up with another Cheryl, Moana Marie. So I thought, sisters, hey, I got a couple more.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Tania.
Once again. Ding, 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 Tania, our song will go on forever. Sweet Tania, this song is for you. Tania, our hearts make music together. Sweet Tania, my song is for you. Gabriel's not there.
He followed up with another one in remembrance of Sister Gabrielle and finally Sister Georgina.
Georgina, don't you know? In fact, I've written just about all songs about my 5 sisters except for one, Carol. And you know what? She hasn't spoken to me for 35 years.
The Beatles were already a famous band, but when they arrived in New Zealand in 1964, the police didn't know much about this thing called Beatlemania.
They were throwing their panties over the top of the fence and doing all sorts of weird things, which was something we'd never seen before. And I came out with the policewoman, and the screaming was just terrifying. And then when they did come out, eventually, the Maori concert party crashed their way through. Ringo, he put the tiki around his neck, and he looked at it and he said in a loud, clear voice, "Hey, fuck, we come in peace," when we walked out. And the policewoman who was with me said, "Look, you can't use that sort of language in New Zealand. We don't. That's a word we don't use here."
Max MERRITT and the Meteors were also touring the country.
And we thought, we'll take the night off so we can go and watch the Beatles. When it came time for the concert that night, the management of the Beatles wanted someone to be stand-ins for the Beatles.
The whole street was packed with kids screaming, you know, John, George, Ringo and Paul, you know.
I think it was Johnny and Mike Anglin who was playing bass for us then, and they got dressed up in overcoats and all covered themselves and went running out the front of the hotel in amongst the throng into the limousines.
We'd open the window and put our heads out and go, woo, like that out the Beatles, and the kids go, ah, you know, thinking it was the Beatles.
While the Beatles climbed down the fire escape at the back of the hotel and went to the Dunedin Town Hall.
It was crazy, crazy times. Beatlemania was happening.
All the young people outside the limos could see that wasn't two of the Beatles, and they're thumping on them. But at least it got the Beatles to the show anyway.
They were just as bewildered at what was happening to them.
Well, you know.
These ordinary boys spent just 8 days in New Zealand, but like everywhere else they went, they affected everyone they came in contact with.
And the Beatles actually started it all for bands to be recognised as musical entities. All the bands in the world owe the Beatles heaps for that.
After the break, pirates really annoy the government, and later a record label gets real big, real quick.